Alright y'all, let's get into it. So our first activity in Tokyo was a chopstick making class that I found on Get Your Guide, one of those like activity apps that you can use. This was it came out to be like $12 a person, so it was like $36 total for me, my daughter, and my husband. Real family friendly. So this is us walking to the venue after we caught an Uber. And I'll explain something about Ubers in Tokyo. Those little black cars are the Ubers. I'll explain something about the Ubers in Tokyo in a second. Super expensive, but we'll get into it later. Found the building. My husband is my personal like tour guide whenever we travel because he's great with directions. I'm horrible with like getting around. So yeah, so this is us waiting for the elevator. They got a little sign, make your own chopsticks. Ended up being on like the 10th floor, I think, of this building, like in the middle of the block. So, yeah. So, get on the elevator. There's no elevator music in any of the elevators in Tokyo, now that I'm thinking about it. It's just a real quiet ride. Elevators are really small, but it is what it is. Opens up, you get into this room. That little area to the left side is where you're going to select the wood that you want to use for your chopsticks. They had like 8 or 9 different selections, and it was based on like difficulty of how hard it is to shave it. And of course you guys will see that I will pick the most difficult one. So this is the wood that I chose. I believe it's pronounced kiyaki. Of course, it's like the most difficult type of wood to shave down, but I really loved it because of the color. It was definitely given melanin, you know. So next up, she's going to explain how we make chopsticks.
This is the kana. This is going to be used to make the chopsticks. There's the blade at the back, so be careful, it's very sharp.
Okay.
When holding the kana, you're going to put one hand at the top, one middle, make sure not to hold the blade, and you want to go from the top and you pull towards yourself.
Okay. So basically, you're going to take the unfinished pieces, you're going to put them in these different slots, and using that little block that's in my right hand that has a blade on it, you're going to take that and shave it down. She's showing me that you rotate the wood twice on each side in each of the little holders, and then you take that blade right there and then I'm going to shave it down. Now I told y'all I got the most difficult wood, right? Look at me struggling to get this first stroke in. Oh yeah, that was for me because I paid for engraving. But look at me struggling, y'all. Can't even like what? No, not okay. She needs some milk. Okay, you know what? So I'm struggling to do this, and then boom, my chopstick gets stuck in my blade. So I'm like, okay, help, send help now. She comes over, she helps me out. She tells me that I need to go against the grain because of the difficulty of the type of wood that I have. And she also gave me a different size blade. And I really did have to like put some elbow grease into it. Eventually, I kind of got into the flow of it, as you can see. Now I'm in a little groove, the little shavings are coming off, and you have to shave it all the way down so that it aligns with the board that it's in. So I stand up a little bit, put a little bit more elbow grease into it, boom, now we rocking and rolling. You see my daughter is over there flowing. She had a teak wood, so hers was a lot easier to do. Of course, me being extra struggling, but I finally got it together and I'm doing my thing. I struggled a few more times, but eventually I like got the hang of it, going against the grain, got into the groove. This is just me rotating the chopstick, making sure that I get all the sides, and eventually like it scales down to actually look like a chopstick. Like it ends up having a little point on the end and a little square at the top. Like they came out really nice.
The next step is sanding.
Okay.
So you want to take the sandpaper, round out the corners so that it's not so sharp.
Okay.
And then if you have any kind of bumpy sides like this, you want to kind of flatten them and then smooth them out as well.
Thank you. So as you can see, look at it. Doesn't it look like a real chopstick, y'all? I'm so impressed. So yeah, I sanded it down real good. and got it ready for the next step. So at this point, they have engraved out chopsticks. I got Mia Moon in English and in Japanese. And now we're going to put on the oil that kind of just preserves the wood. I didn't really ask what type of oil it was. Now I got to look it up and see, because now I'm actually curious. But yeah. And then the little shavings over there, you can keep those if you want. But I decided I didn't want to keep mine because it was just extra stuff to take back and it was unnecessary. So yeah. So we're dipping it in the oil. You dip it a little bit on one end. Then you turn it upside down and then you just let it kind of drip down and rub it in. Kind of like marinate the chopstick a little bit. So yeah. You do each one. And you set it on the tissue so it can get all the excess oil off. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Really easy process, really fun process, really family friendly. I'm glad we got to do this. It was a great souvenir to bring back home. The finished product.